Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another video I'm bringing you here today, in which I'm basically going to be telling you about some breaking news that just happened involving a character that we've all come to love and know, as well as my reaction to this, character coming back, some of this other information we found out, and basically other people's reaction, because I feel like some people are having the wrong reaction when it comes to this general idea and this general story. But basically, what I'm talking about today is that it has been confirmed now, finally, that future Trunks is going to be returning to Dragon Ball Super in an interview with Akira Toriyama. And I have the whole interview right here that's been translated by Herms from Kanzenshu, so we could discuss even further exactly what this means and what information is within it. So, let's check that out right now. So here's the first bit of the interview, and in this interview it says, by Akira Toriyama, next up in Dragon Ball Super, adult Trunks will be making his first appearance in a long time. I put together this story based on a suggestion from the editorial office. Like last time, I write an outline of the entire plot, then the scriptwriters do their best to break it up into episodes expanding upon things, changing things around, or even adding in new bits as need be. Despite being so strong, Trunks barely escapes from the future with his life. The future was supposed to be at peace, so what in the world could have happened? Now, of course, people are reacting negatively, especially to a certain line that Akira Toriyama says during this interview, which I'll get into a little bit further, talking about how it was a suggestion from the editorial office. But let's go further into what he says next up. In the other part, he states, "And what about this foe too strong for even Trunks to handle? Black Goku," or Goku Aparaku, as they would say in the Japanese, which basically, I would assume, this Goku is supposed to be evil, because it'd be pretty strange if Akira Toriyama just randomly made Goku black, all of a sudden, and made him, I don't know where he would even be coming from. Would he be coming from another universe, another timeline in another universe? Does future Trunks, have the ability to speak to Champa that they're currently speaking to from his own timeline? Or, this is going to make the timeline universe thing even more confusing, because the timelines aren't supposed to be separate universes. Like, Universe 6 is not Trunks' timeline, nor are, a number of different things that are happening. But when we see this Black Goku, or Goku Black, as people have started to call him now, it makes me wonder if this is really going to be the evil Goku character being brought to life. But let's finish this up. It's the start of a battle that surpasses time and space and drags in the God of Destruction, Kaioshin, and even the Omni King himself. Oh wow. Many mysteries will be revealed. There's some confusing bits with time changing here and there, but just bear with me. It should definitely turn out to be a fun story. Even I haven't checked the final script yet. How surprising. Let's enjoy this together. Laughs. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I assume that's how Toriyama laughs. Or he laughs like an evil laugh. Like, oh, oh, oh. I don't know. But to finish this all up, we have a picture of future Trunks himself that was designed by Akira Toriyama, and it's definitely interesting to behold. And here it is right now. And basically, we see this picture of future Trunks, and, you could tell that it looks like he might be a little bit older than when we saw him. Of course, he has a time machine. It could be 50 years in the future. No one really knows that. But we see his clothes are tattered. We see that it seems like slightly different from what he wore when we saw him. It seems that he has a new sword, too, which is pretty interesting. He has this red bandana, which almost looks like 17's bandana. It'd be cool if maybe he, took it off 17's body after he killed him in the future. But, I mean, you'd figure that would have been vaporized, but who cares? It would be cool. The only weird thing that I have to say about this is that future Trunks' hair in this picture, for some reason, happens to be blue. Now, of course, it's Bulma's hair color, and originally in the manga, both Bulma and Trunks had purple hair, which Trunks eventually has in the anime itself, because they didn't change it. Maybe because Toei didn't want us to know so quickly that it was Bulma's son, because obviously the original manga, for the most part, is black and white. So, the second Trunks shows up, you're not immediately assuming, oh, it's Bulma's son, because he has the exact same hair color that she does. But the fact of the matter is, it's kind of strange that Toriyama drew him like this. Maybe he just drew him with anime colors. I don't really know. But considering his hair isn't standing up, I would assume he's not a Super Saiyan Blue as of yet. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, I'm sure they're going to change it for the anime, because if Trunks just shows up with blue hair, I'm sure that everyone's going to be like, what the hell is going on? And then, you know, we're going to get the whole Broly situation where, because his hair was blue for 2 seconds in the movie, everyone thinks he's a god now, even though he's not. But I did a video about that. I also did a video talking about future Trunks returning in Dragon Ball Super, which you could check out in the annotation, the card, and down below in the description. But honestly, I think that this is a good time for me to segue into my thoughts about, you know, what's going on, but also my thoughts and general reaction to how some of my YouTube, you know, contemporaries, some of the people who I've worked with in the past seem to be responding to this, because I kind of have a completely different viewpoint from many of them, apparently. Now, many people in the YouTube community that I work with or that I'm personal friends with, when they saw that all this information was coming out about, you know, future Trunks returning, or perhaps an evil Goku, a lot of them started to complain. Like, they started to say, Toriyama's writing fan fiction now. Oh, Toriyama was just given something from the editorial office. They told him to write all of this. Toriyama is going to do exactly what Toei says. He doesn't care. It's all about merchandise. And honestly, let's give this a break for a second, alright? All of us, ever since the Cell Saga, for the most part, I'm gonna say all of us, but 99% of us probably wanted to see Future Trunks again, alright? Ever since I saw the Cell Saga, Future Trunks is one of my favorite characters. I wanted to see him return, and he said he was going to. He said that he was going to come back and talk to everyone, tell them that he killed the androids. That was the whole reason why Cell initially killed him, and that was the thing that he was about to do when he killed Cell in his future timeline after he returned. So we never saw him return, and some people will say it happened in BoJack, but I think BoJack happened around the time that he was recharging his spaceship, so that doesn't really count. But the fact of the matter is, people just kept complaining about this, and what is there to complain about, honestly? Like, we haven't even seen the thing yet. I'm not someone who is a fan of the evil Goku idea. I did a video about this, you know, which you could check out down below, in which I discussed all of my thoughts on the possibility of an evil Goku, the idea of evil Goku, it being introduced into Dragon Ball Super, in the series as a whole, how it would work or maybe not work, and I just, you know, I'm not really the biggest fan. Let's spoiler that video a little bit for now. But I'm still worth, you know, I think Dragon Ball is still worth waiting for. I think that Akira Toriyama has given us some good stuff in Dragon Ball Super thus far. All of his original ideas have been really cool. The Universe 6 tournament, all the fights that we saw in there. So what is there to automatically say this is dumb about? And, you know, some people were saying, this is stupid. Why is it stupid? This is, you know, this is something we haven't seen yet. We don't know what this Black Goku or Goku Black looks like. Maybe he looks like Samuel Jackson, like Nick Fury. Maybe he's voiced by Samuel Jackson. Please make that actually happen, Toei, or, you know, well, it would be funny if it happened with Toei, because he'd be speaking English and, you know, swearing constantly in a Japanese show, but, you know, Funimation, come on. Samuel Jackson does everything. You could get him in Dragon Ball Super if you really need to, but I don't understand what all the complaining is about so far. We haven't seen this happen, and I think that, you know, objectively, when we look at something like this, we need to hold off our thoughts until we actually observe what is going to be shown to us in this series, because some of the ideas in Dragon Ball, actually most of the ideas, let's be honest, sound stupid when we first hear them. Oh, there is this, you know, big cicada cricket-looking guy who absorbs 2 other cyborgs from the future, like Terminator, you know, and he gains perfection, and he wants to take over the world and kill Goku and kill his son, who is actually stronger than Goku, even though he's an 11-year-old boy. All of that sounds stupid off the top of our heads. Like, if you're not a Dragon Ball fan, that sounds dumb, and yet it was amazing, and yet it's arguably the best arc in the series, and the best point of the series as a whole, and where the series should have ended. And that's a series that Future Trunks was introduced in. That's the arc where we brought about Future Trunks. Now, a lot of people might not know this, but a lot of people are, you know, complaining about the whole editing problem, about how they suggested an idea to Akira Toriyama, which people immediately assume it says that they gave him the whole story. They could have just said, hey, Toriyama-san, can you please do a story about Future Trunks? You know, people have wanted to see him. He's a really popular character. Do you have any ideas about this? You know, it'd be pretty cool for you to do it. And then Toriyama came up with the whole thing himself. Like, there is no proof right now that anyone told Akira Toriyama at length to do this entire story with a Future Trunks and Evil Goku and all these other characters being involved. No one knows that right now. So for you to be like, oh, this is what happened, no, I'm sorry, but there's no proof for you to back that up with, aside from the fact that we're just seeing this happen. But a lot of people might not know that in the Cell Saga, well, the titular character of Cell originally didn't exist. 17 and 18 did not exist. 16 did not exist. Originally, the villains were going to be 19 and 20, Dr. Gero and another cyborg. That was the villains of the series. That's why we first see them at Ginger Town. That's why in the original manga, Trunks says androids 19 and androids 20 are showing up at this one place. He does not say 17 and 18 ever in the original manga show up until afterwards when it's retconned, and they didn't really go back and do it because I already did a plot holes video about this too. I feel like I'm plugging myself constantly here. But, like, the thing is, all those characters sold more merchandise than, 1920. All these characters were better than 1920 for the most part. And yet, why is that a bad idea that maybe they want to put Future Trunks in here and Cell in here when they did the exact same thing in the Cell arc, which ended up becoming an amazing arc as a result of all these changes? Maybe not tonally or logistically consistent, but the fact of the matter is that it still ended up being great, and it's my favorite point of the series. So all these people who are complaining, just reserve your judgment until we see it. This is Dragon Ball Z, where characters go from a power level of 1 to 10 quadrillion in 2 seconds, alright? They walk into this room that's blank, and they get stronger than the androids in a day, alright? So keep an open mind, because they talk about, oh, Future Trunks can't be that strong ever since he returned to the future. Well, how do you know? What do you know happened since then? Do you know that Future Trunks might have gone to Namek and gotten the new Namek Dragon Balls and wished everyone back and sparred with them since? Maybe they went into the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Maybe Beerus showed up and we showed up. That was a delayed reaction because of the fact that everyone died and the Oracle Fish predicted something to happen in the future. Maybe Boo showed up and Trunks defeated him. No one knows. So for everyone to consistently say the same thing over and over, and complaining when we have no evidence for this, is just ridiculous. So at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to all of this happening. And I wanted to tell people face to face how I feel. There's a lot of people in the community who might just be like, oh, you're just hiding behind a keyboard, Mike. Well, here I am, complain, dislike, do whatever you want to do, shit on my opinion. I really don't care. At the end of the day, this is something I like. This is something that I'm passionate about. I love the Future Trunks character, one of my favorite characters, and I'm happy to at least see that he's returning. We don't know if this is going to be good yet. It could be bad. It could be good. No one knows. We should just wait and see and keep an open mind. Well, my name is Mike, and this has been another edition of Dragon Ball Super Videos, in which I was talking about Future Trunks returning and the possibility of an Evil Goku. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about Evil Goku in a discussion video to come, but this is more about the news itself and kind of my reaction to other people's reaction. Let me know your own thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to this? Did you see my other videos and maybe kind of see what I thought about them, but still understand why I have an open, mind about all this happening? Let me know down below. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As I always say, stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Do it now. What do you wait?
Do it now, you puny man. Who cares about the universe 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Blah.
That's the universe of biceps. No.